Good morning, friends. Welcome back to another update. Hope you're all doing great. Hope you had a safe trading day. I mean, I can kind of see it in the charts. It was a little bit rough today. And it wasn't that it didn't do or meet the expectations. It was more in how it was delivered intraday. Very lazy, a lot of give and take, a high resistance liquidity run. Typically not something you want to expel a lot of mental capital in if you don't have a good idea of where price is off to. So we'll check out what happened in the daily chart. We traded up and met my target here given to you guys last night, and then started repricing away from it, hitting my lower target after, and repricing in, digging down underneath there. So both targets acquired. What is lame is that it did what I wanted to do, just opposite as I wanted it to do it. So it happens. So now that this candle stopped here, I'm going to put a line on there and just cherry pick. Oh, the middle of that wick. All right then. So what does this mean moving forward? Well, if you remember last night, I was mentioning, like, depending on the information we get this week is how we're going to moving forward. So if you remember, I was like, we can still dump. That's still on the table. And even though we're up here in the premium and it looks like it's ready to rip, what it just did here was set up the stage for later. So if you remember, I was mentioning last night, I would like it to stop dead in its tracks here and then reprice aggressively away from that price point. And that would give the idea that the sellers have come in here, right, to the retail traders. It didn't reprice aggressively away, but we still closed a bearish candle on the day. So I'm okay with that. I am definitely okay with what went on. We're still inside of, and I mean we're closing. We closed today inside of this wick. So the bottom today was consequent encroachment of the rejection block. That should still be annotated on your chart. I leave it off because I don't like a lot of stuff in my way. And it gets a little bit noisy for me. So moving forward, Thursday, Friday. Yeah, man. Obviously, there's a double top. So I'm going to be aiming for that. We're in a premium. So shorts would be favored here, at least temporary. So I'm going to go back 20 days. Get the data range. And for the rest of the week, I would like to see us reprice back into this gap before we continue on our journey. I will permit price to come down into here. That's fine. This will be a sensitive price point that I'll be looking for when we get there, which is half this tail. But just for now, I'm expecting either way, so I'm gonna reserve the right to call a market direction. But if you had a water pistol to my head, I would say we were going to take the previous day's low tomorrow before maybe Friday running up. So that's just my guess. It's just a guess. Again, if it's in my favor and it does it, it's just a lucky guess. That's all it is. We'll call this previous day low. Where would I be looking for a top if that was the case? Just somewhere in this wick. So if I'm anticipating a swing high in here materializing, just like this candle here, I picked the upper quarter. Right here, I'm going to pick the upper quadrant of that wick. And that's where I'd like to see it top out tomorrow. So it's just a guess. I would like it to see it take previous day's low. And the reason why is because we traded up first and went and grabbed buy stop. So we're going to go into the, I'm going to actually put my previous annotations on. And we will go into the lower time frames for a minute. So I was mentioning, like, if things are in my favor, I'd put up some risk for a trade. I think I still had one more annotation on there. There. So if it was in my favor and was obvious to me, then I'd put up some risk. When I woke up this morning, it was just after the news driver here, and my target was already acquired. So I wasn't really willing at this moment to put up some risk. I said on Twitter, hey, I'm not really interested. And then so what ended up happening was, from that price point, price snapped and shifted trend here and here. So if you go into my essentials playlist and my money printer model free on YouTube for everybody, time-based model that repeats every day, and it always has, and it will never miss, this is it. So once it actually showed its hand, I was like, oh, okay, my interest is peaking. And I mentioned to my private students that I would take a short if it run up into the premium. It did just that, hit this mitigation block here, and you can see the execution and recording is on my Twitter page. And I didn't hold for this because this was so annoying. I just held for, I think, this low here, and I think that was good enough. But yeah, very taxing when price doesn't actually want to run. And there's a lot of up and down and a lot of wiggle. So yeah, cool, targets acquired, and then back to the daily chart. I don't see price wanting to continue up this week, but that doesn't mean it can't. So this is where I'd like to see it come back down toward for the open. I'm going to turn on my daily separator. Okay, and so now that we're in the lower time frames and we're seeing the information inside of those daily candlesticks, just going to refine that a little bit. Okay, so that price point that I want to see the where I want to see price action reprice to, down in the discount here in this gray shaded area, it just happens to be below this double bottom. Yeah, I'll say the A word, the algorithm. The algorithm is going to reprice down into here. Now, if it does it tomorrow, we could see Friday do something weird. If we get another high tomorrow, either way, like, I don't know, depending on what tomorrow does. It's kind of a toss-up. Just look at the profile. It's not hot. It looks like a midweek reversal. If I was to guess, I would say that this is a midweek reversal. That's just my guess. You know, it wasn't look. You have our daily or our weekly open here, and we were trading above Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So we've hit the higher time frame premium array, found the model. I don't see it wanting to continue up this week. So my guess, and this should come as no surprise, I'm just guessing this is the last week of bullying price around, seeing if it's back to being not a bully itself. Because, you know, there's times where the market's really fun and it's easy to read. No, man, it'd be cool if we found a bottom right there and then we went on Friday. And if we keep dumping into, let's see here, the 10th. Well, let's see what happens. But this is just gun to my head. This isn't a serious hardline bias. It's just something that I want to see. And if it's in agreement with me, then that would be pretty sweet. So as far as looking for a position tomorrow, I did good this week. I'm not going, oh, I need to freaking take a wild trade. But if I'll tell you what, if it comes up into this gap here, if we're below this gap for opening bell tomorrow and we reprice into it, I will consider a short if everything's on side. Okay, so that's the deal. Oh, dang it. Wrong button. So just short-term bearish. And we'll see how we do for the rest of the week. And these weird folders that are coming up in the next couple weeks. And then our winter months of fun. Who's this guy? You used to wait till how we opened after 6. You used to wait. I used to wait. Wild berries. That's funny. I know we used to wait, but now I just kind of like guessing. Hey, we opened. Hey, look at that. A little tiny bearish vacuum block. I really, really hope that we just do nothing. All Asia. London maybe wiggle just a little bit, but not too much. New York AM, go poke up just politely and then slam for previous day's low. Let's see if price is in agreement with me. And if it takes that high, it's going to be pretty fun. And then we'll see where we close. Okay. We'll see if we get up into the bigger targets. Because of look, I don't see it wanting to. Make sure those are on your chart. Rewind if you have to. I'm actually going to back up again. And we got macro targets, higher targets. If price wants to freak out of control, I don't see it happening, but that doesn't mean it can't. If it does, that's the spot right there. So that's the one that sweeps the all-time high. Personally, I want to see it dunk first. That's all. And this could be the higher low in the set. It totally could be. And this could have been the stop hunt. You know, let's draw out our phantom trend line here and see what these other guys are seeing. Because they'll do that. So they've been raided viciously. Boom, you're done. Thank you, try again. So that could be it. And we could blast off. So again, no hardline bias. I'm just bullying price around. And if it's in agreement with me, sure. But gun to my head, I don't see it wanting to take previous day high. Yet. Save that for the wild fun coming up, all right? But so now that we're here, just re-add that gap. If we stay below this guy, I might take a short tomorrow. If we pop back above it, just start aiming for this. That's all. Like, yes, it could go up or it could go down. I'm not calling both directions, but there's certain things where when order flow starts materializing, especially in your price runs, it's really easy to get in sync with it if it's going to continue, and it will show its hand. Right, wild berries? And if not, then you just sit there and wait for it to show its hand. God bless you all. Thank you all for joining, and we'll see you tomorrow. Peace.